What's up, everybody? My name is Kason. Welcome back to the WDL. This is Season 3, Week 8 of the Heindler Division. And we've got a bunch of really good best of threes for you guys today. So first of all, let's take a look at the standings through 7 weeks. Thanks so much for waiting last week while I was on vacation. I had a great vacation, but I'm happy to be back. JB79 of the Paranoid Androids in first place with 18 points, coming off his first loss of the season to Spike in an upset. I'm sure he is looking to get back on the right side of things here. He has clinched a playoff spot already. He did that after only 6 weeks, which is incredibly impressive. But I know if he wins this week, he clinches a first round bye. He won't have to play in that play-in round guaranteed. And I know he wants to try and keep that first seed. So Turambar of the Ferrets, hot on his heels with 16 points in second place, did lose head-to-head to JB79, so he has his work cut out for him to catch him, but I know he wants to try and clinch a playoff spot as well, which he should do so with a win if he wins this week. CrimsonLyse of the Triumphant Trailblazers would also, I believe, clinch a playoff spot if he wins this week. Depending if the right teams lose, he could even potentially clinch a top 3 spot. So these top 3 teams, even though they seem like they're in really good shape, have a lot to play for this week. Here's where it gets really interesting. Unhindered of Ignite the Storm with 13, Maverick of Spaghetti Western with 13, and Spike of Bebop's Crew with 12, all really close together at the moment. And I believe they have all beaten each other in a circle. I believe Unhindered beat Maverick, Maverick beat Spike, Spike beat Unhindered. So those 3 teams tight together in the standings. Very interesting. Dezaire of Team Big Mouth. Can he keep his miracle run going? Started out the season 0-4, has won his last 3 weeks, which is just absolutely nuts. Can he make it 4? Going to be tough. He's going up, I believe, against Spike this week. Colgate of Fwendship with 8 points. Love saying that team name. Might not be in playoff contention. He's still got a chance if he wins this series. It's going to be tough. And LucianRamz of Lone Shadow is still not technically out of the playoffs yet either, but he has to win out to have a chance, and some other things really have to go his way. Error 404 of Ashes to Crashes is here to play spoiler, and he's here to crash some other team's chances at making the playoffs. So it should be enjoyable, guys. Let's jump into these best of 3s. We've got a Heindler Division series for you guys here. CrimsonLyse, coach of Triumphant Trailblazers, on a 5-week win streak. Can he make it 6, or does Colgate stop him in his tracks? We'll have to find out here. It's Reagan, Velis, and Uni, a team we've seen plenty of times before from CrimsonLyse, going up against Colgate of Fwendship, a team that he has run very many times as well. It's King Bradley and the Mom and Pop Shop, Helena Leonis and Elda Leonis. Here comes Helena. What is she going to go for here? Goes with the Bar Aurora buff, and it looks like Elda Leonis on the opposite side of the map to try and tank up some hits so that Bradley can come in from the side on a flank. Covert Ops mission here. Leonis barrier coming out from Elda, getting that hate up and the barrier. With 3 movement, he's going to start to walk forward. Arrowfall comes out from Uni, only about 1400 damage. Not anything too crazy. How can Elda fare against these 2 ice units, though, as this is offensive Velis at this moment? He's in range to do damage. He's going to go for it. Reagan's got his courage online. Eternal Frost comes out. 1410 actually soaked very well by the Elda. He has 1 more hit of his barrier left online here as Shadow Dance comes out from the Bradley, and this timing might actually work out decently well for Colgate here. We'll have to see here as Guard Haste comes out onto the Bradley, as I'm noticing the free-to-play tag coming out from Colgate. Hey Gumi, I think we're sending some messages here. Sonic Octostrike Blade comes out from Reagan, and this is going to deal a good amount of damage as the barrier is now gone. I say that actually was tanked very well, even after the first hit of the barrier is gone, but Sub-Zero is not tanked well. My goodness, Velis just going absolutely crazy in this fight. Calculated Ren coming out from Bradley, not enough to one-shot the Velis, and he's hasted up, which means he's going to be able to heal as well. Arrowfall coming out from Uni, he's got plenty of AP for it. Gets rid of that haste on Bradley, and that is really what makes Bradley so hard to deal with. It's just the amount of turns he can take. But Reagan dealing about 6k, actually a little more to the Bradley, and this is looking very good for CrimsonLyse here. Helena Leonis, she's going to go for Guard Haste, which means she does not have White Mage sub-job online. She does not have heals unless it is from a TMR, and she's stuck on the back line. Calculated Rend is easily going to decimate Uni, but he did his job already. He got rid of the haste, did a little bit of chip damage. Velis is going to proc the courage on Bradley, but unless he has a 2-for-1 special coming up, which he does not, as Reagan is going to get rid of him, this is going to be a Game 1 victory for CrimsonLyse and the Trailblazers, who will be triumphant here. Shadow Flare comes out from Helena, so she's going to try her best to do a little bit of damage here. 1500 drops the AoE resist, but just not going to be nearly enough. She's actually going to go again because she did haste herself, but interestingly enough, She doesn't opt for damage. She actually opts for a buff this time. Surge Strike does 11,000 damage, and that is a game 1 victory for the Trailblazers. Heading into game 2 here, and it looks like a switch up coming out from CrimsonLyse, and also a switch up coming out from Colgate as well, actually. I don't know if I've seen this team from him on the other side. It is a Bradley, Slime, and Elda Leonis comp, and from CrimsonLyse, it is Lightning, Charlotte, and Lilith. Very, very cool to see here. And I think this is actually, actually, I don't think all of them are on the same... No, I think they are all on the same BC. I'm thinking about it. I'm not entirely sure. I'm trying to think about that for a second. But anyway, regardless, Elda's going to go Leonis Barrier, get that hate and barrier online, obviously, as he walks forward. And what is Slime going to go for? Some sort of TMR buff, I imagine. No, it's Acceleratal, actually. That makes perfect sense. Agility up for him and Papa Leonis. Keenblade comes out from Lilith to try and get that CT up on Charlotte, though. She should hop some turn order. She's going to do exactly that. She's going to walk forward and get a pummel, but she does not have all of her tank buffs online at the moment, and I wonder how much that's going to matter, because Calculated Rend is doing a ton of damage to this Charlotte here, as there's really no healing coming out from CrimsonLyse's side. Army of 1, though, even with the elemental disadvantage, doing a good chunk, about 4k, Pursuit doing 1700. I mean, honestly, Lightning did about 6k to Bradley. That is very impressive. AP Devastator also doing a ton of work here, getting rid of tons of AP from the other enemy. As you can see, Slime has literally 0, but he doesn't need AP. He needs TP to get that Hustle Dance +1 off. And what can Elda Leonis go for? Void Piercer. Charlotte actually not known for very much pierce resistance, but tanks that decently well here, as she is going to continue to go for pummel as she is running that Monk sub job. And Bradley has an opportunity here. Quick Lunge is enough to take care of the tank, but is it too little, too late here? Lightning went for the Limit Break last time, which means she doesn't have tons of AP. Arm Shot lands the Disable, though, and the follow-up is enough to proc Courage on to the Bradley, and this is looking rough for Colgate. Oh, man. I thought he was in really good shape here, getting that kill onto the Charlotte, but with the Disable, I'm not so sure. Bradley can't do much of anything here at the moment. He does walk away from Lightning, who has very little AP. Hazard Break comes out. Oh, man. Lilith is out of AP, though, and so is Lightning. Can this team last long enough with Slime healing in the back? They just might. Elda's going to drop, though, and really this whole fight comes down to, can they basically last long enough for the Disable to fade away? Bradley has one more turn of it. Thunderstorm comes out. That is the Esper coming out. Sildra, the brand new Esper VC combo. Bradley's last turn of Disable is going to fade away here. Can they kill him in time? Standard attack is 2600. It's not enough. Bradley's probably going to get to go next. He is 29 AP. What can he get done? Gets reflexed by the Lilith, but Calculated Rend just crushes Lightning in one hit. Lilith, can you get this done? Bradley might still be able to pull this off, and he gets a reflex. Oh my goodness. I don't think that would have mattered. Probably not enough to kill there, as the standard attack follow-up kills the Lilith. I don't think that reflex mattered, but man, oh man, Bradley manages to waste the 3 turns, stays alive long enough to close it out, and we are headed to a Game 3. Game 3 between these two teams, guys, and it looks like CrimsonLyse is running an old reliable Reagan, Velis, and Uni. We'll see if it works out for him. Leave this to me with the Ice Attack, Wind, and Dark resistance, as well as AoE resistance. This Reagan is such a good unit. Velis, I imagine, going to go for the haste on himself, as well as one of his allies, as King Bradley's going to pop his Courage buff. And it looks like a King Bradley, Slime, and Kadia team coming out from Colgate here. So double healer, basically Super Saiyan Bradley team. Let's see if it works out for him. Accelerator going to come out from the Slime. Going to get that agility up on him and the Kadia. As a Race Brightboard comes up, this gives a lot of debuff resistance on the Bradley, which can be very, very nice. And I think that was a critical damage up. That might have been either Titus TMR or something like the Lara Croft TMR. I didn't quite catch it, but it was probably one of those two if I had to imagine. Velis should be going for another haste here onto Uni and himself. And Kadia going to start channeling a spell. What is it going to be, though? It looks like Reagan's going to go Protecting the Light of the Future. AP cost rate down. Courage. He's got his self-heal back online. He is just ready to go, ready to get in this fight. Erase Brightward going to be refreshed again. Very interesting that she does this. Gets her own CT up, though, which means she will take another turn very soon, as the King Bradley will use his own TMR. He says, if I'm wearing this eye patch for show, I might as well actually use it. And the Erase Brightward the 3rd time comes through. Is this a 1-turn buff? I thought it was multiple turns, but maybe it's only 1 turn, which might be why she keeps refreshing this. It's either that or because it gives herself some CT. I am not entirely sure, but it's one of the two. As Accelerator comes out from Slime, so if this Bradley wasn't fast enough with his haste, he also catches an agility up buff. Katia, are you going to do the same thing for the 4th time? Yes, she most certainly is. She's going to give herself some CT. How many uses of this kill does she have? I have no idea. As Shadow Dance comes out from the King Bradley, he's got a barrier, he's got haste, he's got agility up, he's got courage, he's got everything you would ever want, except for Uni exists on the other side, nullifying that haste onto King Bradley. Strips him of his eye patch, and I don't think he's going to be very happy about that. You might see King Bradley's wrath as the Grace of Eternal Friendship comes out from the Velis, popping Black Rose Helena TMR. And this fight has gone so long that Reagan is actually no longer hasted. And Velis says, hey, let's take care of that. Stars of Swiftness comes out, hastes him back up, hastes himself back up. King Bradley, does he have an opportunity for AoE? Yes, he certainly does. Calculated Ren will easily destroy Uni. Good lord, that was a lot of damage. And about 5k onto the Reagan is a good start too, but Slime's going to walk backwards. Accelerate onto the Katia, and Bradley is about to be all alone here. Slime went the wrong direction. You need him to get up near this Bradley to keep him alive. Sonic Octastrike Blade is a ton of damage. Does not proc the Courage, which could be good for Colgate here. But Velis, is this a heal or is this damage? As Katia is going to pop Black Rose Helena TMR, but she's stuck in the back, and so is Slime. These two units are just going to stay there. Eternal Frost will proc the Courage, but King Bradley needs to do so much work in this one turn to have a chance, or else it's just going to be too little too late. Calculated Ren does a decent amount, but it's just going to be healed right back by Reagan, and I think this is CrimsonLyse's fight to lose here. 5,200 damage, and will even lifesteal some health off of that kill. Velis just going to go for Ice Blessing with Magic up, Protect, and Shell. Katia, can she get in range to pull off a raise? She's going to really have to move a lot, and this rock and the tree are in their way. Emergency Meditation from Slime, just not really going to do a whole lot. I don't think these units are going to have enough damage. Azure Blade Strike is going to do about 5,300 damage to the Katia. Honestly, she tanked that pretty well. I think that barrier coming from the Black Rose Helena TMR paying off there. But again, does it even matter? Velis is going to walk forward. He's just basically reading his book in the back. I'm curious what story he is reading at the moment. Let me know down in the comments below what book you guys are reading, if you're reading anything. As Shadow Flare comes out from the Slime, he's going offensive mode, but he's only got 42 AP to work with. And that blue blob, I don't think is going to get it done. We could see a fight come down to turns. I'm staring at this. This is 13 actions left, guys. As Eternal Frost comes out from the Velis, but this Katia is like deceptively tanky. Reagan's going to go for Surge Strike. 10k now that the barrier's gone. She is no longer tanky. And 8 actions left. Will they be able to kill off the Slime in time, or will it come down to turns? Slime, I imagine, going to go for Zing to try and bring Katia back. But Slime, you needed to do this to Bradley, buddy. Terra Slash going to do 5,900. I think we were just delaying the inevitable as he catches his Emergency Meditation heal back. Zing will go off on the Katia. Velis is going to go next. Try and do some damage. 2 actions left. Do they find a kill? Sub-Zero will take out the Slime. And with 1 action left, Reagan says, oh, no. I'm not about this turns thing. I'm killing everybody on the other side. He finds it on the final turn of the battle. And a 3-game series, even if the last fight wasn't too close. GG, though. Great series. Congratulations to CrimsonLyse. Game number 1 of Turambar's Fire Ferrets versus Maverick Spaghetti Western. And it looks like Maverick is trying to keep position to make the playoffs. Turambar is trying to move on up, or at least stay in second place. We'll see how it works out. Turambar with a couple of fire units, along with Titus being the tank, as the Law of Refuge buff comes out from the Resnick immediately onto Skahal, giving that physical shield here. The Courage buff online for Pissarro. And now the big question is, does Maverick's team have the accuracy or the status effects to get this done? Zombie TMR onto Skahal, so he's going to have to die 3 times here. Keenblade coming out from the Zazan going to really increase that CT. Skahal's going to move way up in the turn order here. Saintly Fortress coming out from Titus, so he does have hate. Is Skahal in range to reach him for damage? It looks like he is. Thundergo Disposer, this should do a ton. Actually, only 4,900. The Elemental Resist didn't debuff, I think. So maybe, actually, you know what I'm thinking? Titus, actually, with high health, I think has 100% elemental debuff resistance. So actually pretty nice versus Skahal. I didn't even think about that, but that is very, very nice by Turambar, resisting quite a bit of damage that way. The Killer Cross comes out from Zazan as Strike of Ruin does so much damage. A huge chunk onto the Skahal. Resnick, is she in range to heal? She is not. And this spacing is going to get really awkward for Maverick very, very quickly. That Keenblade, unfortunately, moving Skahal out of range of Resnick, so she's not in range to move forward and heal. is going to be tough to overcome. The limit break comes out from Sweetheart Eldira. That's a double kill. Skahal will come back from his re-raise here. But will he go next? I believe he should. No, he's not going to. The CT still just switches up because of the limit break, which means he's going to move down in the order. Psaro's going to lap, and this is over for Maverick already in game 1 here. Very, very smart strategy coming out from Turambar, and unfortunate that Keenblade not really working for Maverick, putting Resnick out of range. Not sure if it would have mattered or not, but Skahal might have gotten an opportunity to do some damage, but it looks like he probably didn't have the accuracy, which means he might have had to use Toad or Energy Buster to try and get this damage done. We'll have to see here. Resnick, does she have anything in the kit? She's going to just go for a limit break on herself. She's going to top herself up, but it's not going to matter a whole lot. And so the question is, with that healing power down, only doing 1700, what is the response for Maverick in game number 2 here? As Sweetheart Eldira is going to go Fatal Bind, 3400 damage should almost clean it up. Titus is going to waste our time for just a turn, but Psaro should be able to finish this here. Discontinuum +1 will find the kill, and that is a game 1 victory. Very impressive by Turambar. Heading into game number 2 here, Turambar switching it up, actually, even with a very successful game 1, going with the double missile team along with Titus. And this is a Pierce composition coming up from Maverick. And man, oh man, Titus is so good against Pierce attacks. Does Maverick stand a chance? This is the double Glassy, double Pierce. We'll have to see, man. Zazan with 13,000 health, gonna pop Zombie TMR. And is he going to be a nice little makeshift tank here? As it looks like Lucia's channeling a spell, which means this is a Mega Charge coming out. Golden Magic Shot is 8,300 damage. That's a good start. But the Zazan kind of baiting out attacks from the missile units could be good, wasting some of their AP. As the zombie team are keeping him alive still. I don't think Jaden will be in range for a standard attack. Maybe he is. He might have to burn another skill, though. Taunting Blade coming up from Titus. He has basically no AP left, but he's got plenty of hate. And now this is the question. Terra Slash. She is opting for the strike attack because Titus's pierce resistance is absolutely nuts. But Lucia finds a sharpshoot. This is a 3v2 advantage in Turambar's favor. The only thing they don't have going for him is the AP as it starts to dwindle down. But Magic Blast Plus does a good chunk to the Glaciella. Surge Strike is 2,300 damage. And man, oh man, this is just going to be so hard for Maverick to eat through this. Titus, Shining Conviction, though, actually does a good chunk. With that barrier being gone, the next hit might be able to kill the Titus. A Poison Barb reaction. I don't think I've ever seen that in my life. The poison does not land, however. 33 AP on the Lucia. Magic Blast Plus will basically use up the rest for Jaden, but it finds the kill on a Glaciella. And the Glaciella Flag Bearer, she is a great unit with her 140, but can she possibly pull off a 1v3? She does have Reflex in her kit. She's going to have to Reflex to pull something off here, or else this fight is probably over. This should be a Mega Charge coming out from Lucia, as Unerring Shot does 3,300 from Jaden. He is out of AP. Oh my gosh, the charge time is too long, though. Glaciella is going to kill Lucia. Shining Conviction. Wait a second, guys. Glaciella might win this. This is a 1v1. Jaden has no AP. 2,200 damage. Glaciella, can she one-shot? If she one-shots, this is over. I thought Turambar had this in the bag. Triple Cross comes through. It's barely not enough to kill the Jaden. Oh my gosh, Glaciella would need to Reflex. It doesn't look like she's going to get it. Bahamut's going to come through. I imagine that this Esper will find the kill. I have to assume it does. Oh my goodness, this fight is down to the wire. I don't remember how much health that Glaciella has in her kit, or on her health bar remaining. Apparently not enough. It did about 2,000 damage, and that was just enough to seal the deal. That was an incredibly close fight. Looked one-sided early, but didn't end up being that way. But congratulations, 2-0 series victory for Turambar and the Fire Ferrets. Game number 1, a couple of red teams going at it. Unhindered, coach of Ignite the Storm versus JB79, coach of the Paranoid Androids. Unhindered trying to maintain good position to make the playoffs for the first time in his WDL career. And JB79 coming off his first loss. I know he wants to win bad to get back on that win streak. Hunter's Distinction coming out from the Curry Wazette, and it looks like Perrine, Curry, and Mariol versus Joom, Sosha, and Roy Mustang. So very interesting coming to see this here. Vacuum Bell coming out from the Joom, and it looks like both tanks rocking about 13,000 health. The Vega TMR coming out from Mariol is going to allow her a chance to Berserk, though, and we've seen how lethal this can be. Keenblade coming out from Sosha is going to allow her to move forward and make Roy Mustang go next. He's going to pop the Psaro TMR. Haste and Hate down. Not sure if you even need Hate down with Joom on the battlefield, but it's still a fantastic TMR regardless, as Dragon's Might is going to come out from the Sosha. And she's ready to go. Curry, what does he have in store? Shadowbind's going to go onto the Joom. I don't think that landed the Immobilize. Didn't do a ton of damage. Level 4 Banishka soaked fairly well as well. But it does land the Berserk. And that could be massive for JB79 here. Joom tanking the damage very well, but now unable to use any abilities as Incinerator does a good chunk onto the Mariel. Vortex Kick, though, 7,700, removes Protect and does even more damage because she is Berserked. Sharpshoot does 3,580 to the Mariel. Okay damage, but Joom is not in range to find an attack. She's just going to walk right next to Roy, and that is rough to see if you were Unhindered. Joom maybe be able to do an AoE, might have taken out Mariel. It's hard to say. She is very good AoE resist, so probably not. Frostmaw Barrage coming out from the Curry. Still cannot find the kill on Joom, though. So even though she is not able to take an attack, she does still have hate. And this is now a 3v1 in Unhindered's favor. The problem is it is Perrine versus these three. And Vortex Kick is going to find the kill on the Joom and the other one. And with a Frostbit Roy, he's going to have his work cut out for him as a standard attack finds the kill. 6,300 from Perrine. That is absolutely nuts. And that is a Game 1 victory for the Paranoid Androids. After that Game 1, it looks like both teams opting for a different strategy here. Unhindered running the double glove team with Little Ela as the tank. And speaking of double glove, the other side from JB79 as well, Revelka and Kefka, along with Mariel as the tank. Steady Summer Flower trying to nullify some of those status effects like Charm, Immobilize, things like that. Jealous Wrath coming out. The Vega team are, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It worked great in game number 1. Will it work this time? The Runes of Mind and Destruction. The Celis team are coming out from More Than Merrier to try and nullify that Berserk. Very smart move coming out from Unhindered here. Obviously not wanting to deal with that for a second time. Heart of Flutter comes out from the Little Ela, getting the unit attack resist and the movement as Kefka now has his re-raise online. And Revelka, what is she channeling here? I'm actually not sure. Maybe Heart Like Needles or something like that? I'm not sure what else she could do as the Berserk lands again onto the Little Ela. She's the only unit who didn't catch that Celis TMR. A bit unfortunate for Unhindered here, as I'm sure he would have liked to try and get a silence, and now it's going to be very difficult for that to happen. The Berserk just putting in so much work here for JB79. As the cast finishes for Revelka, she's going to walk forward. Show Me Your Power comes out from Kefka. So AoE resist, and also giving hate up to some other units, but that Berserk Little Ela cannot do anything, and you have to imagine that massive silence would be huge here against these magic units. Roy Mustang going to find the kill against Mariel. It's still a 3v2 in Unhindered's favor, though, so it is far from over, even not being able to find that silence, but that's so much damage coming out from Revelka. Counter Cure, though. Is it enough to keep Roy alive from Kefka? Oh my goodness. The answer is no. That standard attack did 10k. What the hell? That is absolutely nuts. That might be a record for me that I've ever seen from a standard attack doing Unavailable Pain coming out from the Revelka, going to kill the More Than Merrier. Does she have a chance in hell here, though? She doesn't get CT up on a re-raise, which means Kefka's going to go again. And very similar to Roy Mustang, he's just snapping his fingers, murdering people out here. And that is a 2-0 victory for JB79 and the Paranoid Androids. Game number 1 between Error 404, aka Snarky, versus LucianRamz. Ashes to Crashes versus Lone Shadow. LucianRamz running the Dark Tetrasilphid synergy with the Fire and Wind units. It looks like King Mont, Dario Horn, and Ayaka. And this is a very tanky team. We saw him bring this out one other time. It didn't have great success, but basically the plan was to try and win on turns on healing. And we'll see how bulky this team ends up being here. We'll have to see, as it looks like the other side is the Evasion Squad plus the new and improved 140 Balo, the absolute mad lad who's about 30k HP if you include his re-raise. It's disgusting. Guard haste onto the King Mont. And guys, this might be a wet noodle fight. We'll have to see. Claws of the Young King comes out from King Mont, which means he at least has a chance to hit Yuffie. So they might have the accuracy. We'll have to see. Heal comes through. Burning Drive, 3498 onto the Dario. A okay amount of damage. Problem is Ayaka's in the back and she's ready to heal. And she's going to haste up this Dario, I imagine. Dario going to go Draining Seal for 6,600 damage onto the Dario. He doesn't even need a heal from Ayaka. He's doing enough healing by himself. Yuffie's going to go Windstorm on both King Mont and a Dario. The blind does not catch, so LucianRamz, very smart with his blind resistances, either in his Espers or Trust Stones or something like that. Very much prep for this, it looks like. Fangs of Leon is coming out onto the Heo, but the Disable does not land, so maybe some smart moves coming out from Error 404, as well as, oh my goodness, Heo says, I don't care about your double tank squad. I'm going to get rid of them, hit rid of one of them right away. King Mont will catch a heal back, might even catch another heal from Ayaka as Taunting Blade comes out from Balo to try and gather hate. I don't know, though. Full Life actually comes through. It is not a heal. Dario, does he die before he even gets a moment to act, though? I'm looking at the turn order as King Mont does actually hit Yuffie, but it doesn't do any damage because of that barrier. Windstorm's going to catch the double blind. She does have an increased chance to blind, so even if you have 25%, it's not guaranteed to nullify it, and we saw it right there. Heo is going to get rid of the Dario. Ayaka's going to go next. She is blind as a bat, but it doesn't really matter. She knows where her ally is. She just follows her heart. She's going with Angelic Grace. Going to be a massive heal onto both units. But is it going to matter? She doesn't have a second full life. I believe she has Raze in her kit, but she doesn't have another full life, and I don't know if this team can outlast them. The whole strategy behind this comp, I think, is just to outsustain. But this Heo is doing so much damage in this fight. Is actually very impressive. Going to get rid of the Ayaka, where Mont clearly does not have any hate anymore. And now it is just going to be beating up on this King. 1083 coming out from the King Mont, but it's really not enough. Yuffie with 40 AP will start a nice little fire slash chain. I imagine that Heo will be able to capitalize on that with the standard attack. 4450 will do it. That is a game 1 victory for Error 404. Heading into game number 2 here, LucianRamz decided to switch it up. He went with a more traditional team. It looks like Sephiroth, Shadow Lynx, and Dario. And it looks like still the somewhat fire evasion, somewhat fire just hit you with a big-ass sword combination coming out from Error 404, rocking the Balo as well. Mass Immunity and Waiting comes out from Sephiroth. The Haste TMR coming out from Shadow Lynx. The AoE buff from Heo gives himself that counter, as well as some AoE buffs for the party. And Dario's going to go next with the Heart of Flutter. Sweetheart Eldira TMR. I've said it many times, this is one of the best tank TMRs in the entire game. Unit attack resist is so much more important for tanks than other allies, unless you are facing somebody who has a multi-target select skill. And getting that additional movement can just get them away from your other units. Could just be really, really nice. Utsusemi comes out from the Shadow Lynx. Keenblade from the Balo. Give some CT to him and Heo, as Heo's going to go Veiled Defiance, give himself some courage and some accuracy up, which might help against the Shadow Lynx. We'll have to see here. So here comes the Sephiroth. Mass Immunity and Waiting. Again, just going to refresh that. He still has his reaction of Scintilla online. Dario's going to Draining Seal for 1574. He's going to be full health at the moment. And what does Shadow Lynx get done here? It turns out nothing. There is a tree in her way, and she cannot get towards these two fire units. Blinding Trinity comes out from the Yuffie. The blind does not land. So again, there is some blind resistance, I imagine, on LucianRamz' team. I imagine it's 25. As Heat Drive does 10k to the Dario, this Heo continues to be impressive through 2 games here. As Shadow Lynx is going to go Shadow Tether. Speaking of impressive, good lord, that is a lot of damage onto the Heo coming from Shadow Lynx. Sephiroth is going to follow up on it. Going to go Octaslash, so this is going to remove the courage from Heo, and he's going to be gone. This is a 2v2 at the moment, and I think I give the advantage to LucianRamz here, as the Balo is on one side and Sephiroth is on the other. Balo, no disrespect, he is much better now. But man, unless they can't hit this Yuffie, I think LucianRamz wins this. Scintilla, though, does miss. So it looks like Sephiroth's accuracy might not be there. Can they hit her with some guaranteed hits is the question. LucianRamz, Shadow Lynx is going to go for the Shadow Tether onto Balo, lands the stop, so he's going to do a whole lot of nothing at this moment. Hell's Gate comes through for 4595. Honestly, Balo tanking up pretty well. Yuffie with very little AP. Scintilla again, but it misses. Throw only does 2593. Elementalist, I believe, attack. And here comes Shadow Lynx, proccing the courage from the Balo. Sephiroth should be able to follow up on this again, but he might need to waste his AP. I don't think he has the movement to get there. Spirit Breaker is going to do just that, and honestly, Balo is doing a fantastic job tanking right now. He's going to be full health, gain some AP, gain a bunch of stats, and so much AP from LucianRamz' team is being used on this Balo, which means Yuffie will get an opportunity to probably buff and go back in. In fact, she's going to go King Bradley TMR, get haste and reaction block rate. And this is going to be down to the wire here. Sephiroth with very little AP, going to go Breathing Technique. I forgot he even had that in his kit. That is a massive heal for somebody like Sephiroth who can tank hits very well. Like, he takes very little damage from hits. That is a massive heal. Shadow Lynx is going to follow up with herself with a nice Dark Slash Chain, Dream Within a Dream. Yuffie should just go for the standard attack, 3349. She only needs one more hit to get rid of this Sephiroth, though. That could be pretty huge. Shadow Lynx going to go Hellblaze Requiem with the Dark Ifrit Esper. Interesting, though. I'm not sure how much that field effect is really going to help them out. The Sephiroth is going to find the standard attack, so he has enough accuracy, at least at times. It's going to break the 100% hit barrier, and now this fight is evasion versus evasion. Two ninjas facing off against each other, guys. Shadow Lynx versus Yuffie, who wins it? Shadow Lynx finds a standard attack, gains evasion up because of that legendary Relic Warrior's piece of equipment as Fiery Banishment misses. Shadow Lynx dodges it. She's currently winning this trade. 38 AP. Can she find a Shadow Tether? No, she goes Dream Within a Dream. Dark Slash Chain up. Evasion up is refreshed. There are 5 actions left. Oh my god, I just saw this. And Yuffie can't hit her. She has too much evasion. Shadow Lynx is winning this evasion 1v1. Oh my god, Shadow Lynx 1v1s the Yuffie, and LucianRamz wins game 2. I don't believe it. That's crazy. We are headed to a game 3. Heading into game number 3, guys, and the end of that fight was absolutely ridiculous. Do we get something like that again in game number 3 as the same 2 teams are coming out again? Padfoot comes out from the Shadow Lynx. And my question, is there any more accuracy coming out from Error 404's team? Because it seemed like they had a pretty tough time hitting the Shadow Lynx. Brumaform Plus comes out from the Yuffie. Guaranteed hit nullification, that 1-hit barrier. Such an incredibly good skill for her as Beast Roar comes out, trying to get that reaction up. And here comes Dario with the Sentinel. Interesting. Does he have a bunch of skills turned off? Why would he go Sentinel turn 1? I don't know if I've ever seen that. Utsu Semi comes out from Shadow Lynx. And this could be potentially bad for LucianRamz. We're going to find out very quick if they have the accuracy to hit Shadow Lynx. However, she used Utsu Semi, which is like 50 evasion up. It's an insane amount. Veil of Woe onto the Sephiroth, so he has plenty of AP. He's got his barrier. And it looks like Yuffie is actually heading to the other side to try and go meet Dario. So Shadow Lynx might just be fine here. Keenblade coming out from the Hio is going to get that CT up. And Dario with another Sentinel refresh. So yeah, for whatever reason, LucianRamz turning off some other skills. Is there not as much defense pen coming out from Error 404's team? Maybe that's why, as the stop lands from Shadow Lynx's Shadow Tether again, this Shadow Lynx has been the hard carry of LucianRamz's team. Not only this series, but honestly been one of the most, like, probably best performing units on his entire squad. Bloodbath, or the Limit Break, comes out from the Yuffie, starting a nice Fire Slash Chain. Shadow Lynx is going to go again. Shadow Tether again onto the Balo, who might be out of hate at the moment. He starts the fight with 3 hate now with his 140. He has been hit twice. We'll see what happens here. As Sephiroth is going to go with the Octaslash. If that is onto the Balo, I believe this gets rid of his re-raise. It doesn't. It doesn't catch him. It only catches Hio. That could be pretty major here. As Dario's going to go next, I expect a Draining Seal. Actually, just goes for Saintly Healing. That's actually kind of nice that he can heal himself back up because the guaranteed hit nullification is on right now, which means Draining Seal wouldn't hit. Fiery Banishment does a good chunk to Dario, though, as Shadow Lynx is going to Shadow Tether for a 3rd time, but he's just going to come back to life. And this best skill that Shadow Lynx has now been used up 3 times. And you can see how effective a tank Balo can be, even if he is slow as molasses. If he lives for a while, it can be huge, as Burning Drive is going to burn Dario to a crisp, and now Error 404 is in a 3v2 advantage. 3rd Eye goes off for Shadow Lynx, so the reaction block, or the reaction for her, going to increase her evasion. We'll see. Can anyone hit this Shadow Lynx? That is the question. I mean, obviously somebody hit her, but can they keep hitting her is the question. Telluric Fury comes out from Sephiroth, a really good chunk of damage onto the Hio. And who does Shadow Lynx go for? It's actually going to be the Hio, not the Balo. So he does not have any more hate, which means he is not nearly as useful as he once was. Yuffie is going to go for the standard attack on Sephiroth, I imagine, because she can guaranteed hit him. Trinity Burst does a little bit of chip. Honestly, to Sephiroth, that's decent damage. Shadow Lynx is up next, though, and I think I give the advantage to LucianRamz. It's hard to say. Shadow Tether goes onto the Balo, and I think, she's targeting that because Yuffie is dodgier. So I don't know. We'll see. Telluric Fury is a nice little chain, and I think this fight is going to come down to the exact same thing as the last game. It is an evasion war. Fiery Banishment misses the Shadow Lynx. RNGesus, whose team are you on? We'll have to find out. Sephiroth has 88 AP. Did the guaranteed hit nullification pop, like, go away? Hell's Gate comes through for 5,700 damage. Yuffie has 19 AP. Can she find a kill? Throw is not enough. And she keeps going back and forth between who the hell she wants to target. She goes for Sephiroth, then Lynx, then Sephiroth again. Hellblaze Requiem, it looks like it's going to take care of her. And LucianRamz, with the Shadow Lynx kind of going nuts, pulls off the 2v1 series win. Congratulations. Next up to bat, we've got Spike, coach of Bebop's crew, versus Dezaire, coach of Team Big Mouth. A couple of teams with playoff aspirations, and a couple of teams coming off some really good stuff as of late, as Pinion of Steel comes out from the Stern Wing of Destiny. Dezaire on a 3-week win streak, started out 0-4, trying to pull off the miracle run to make the playoffs, and Spike coming off a win versus JB79, the only team to do that this season. Black Rose Helena going to pop her own TMR, Garvel's going to pop Greater Chi Barrier, so both of these dark units with a couple of barriers online. Sakura, what is she going to go for? She's going to channel a Heart Like Needles, Magic Attack up, and Spirit Piercing Raid for herself. And this is a good old classic light versus dark showdown. Who's going to win it? Valade in the back to back him up, in Liarte to back up for Dezaire. So here comes momentum. King Bradley TMR onto Liarte. She's got Reaction Block Rage. She's got Haste. She's ready to go. But Black Rose Helena is out of buffs at the moment. She's got her TMR, and she says, that's all I need. I don't need anything else. Stern says, yeah, not for me, dog. I need my re-raise as well. And Garvel's going to go say, hey, King Bradley TMR, that's a very nice one. I will do it as well. Sakura's going to go next. What does she have in her kit? It's going to be channeling another spell. I imagine, oh, it's Thunder's Protection, actually. I forgot she even had this. Light and Lightning Attack resist. I believe it gives Dark Attack resist, too. I'm not sure if I caught that, but I believe it does, which could be a very smart use here versus the Dark units. And the Barb Blizzard, Vitalizer. Valade has a couple of just really nice buffs in his kit, but Black Rose Helena kind of walking out into the middle of nowhere, not able to find damage. Garvel, the same thing. They'll save a little bit of CT by not acting, but is it going to be enough? Stern Wing of Destiny is going to go immediately here. Infinite Light. How much damage is this going to do to the Dark unit? It's going to haste himself up as well. Honestly, tanked up very, very well. Black Rose Helena has really good AoE resist when she is healthy. Very similar to Dark Fina after she uses her re-raise. And Liarte up next. What is she going to go for? Is it Charm? Is it... Oh, it's Stop. Okay, 1187. The Stop does not land, though. Liarte has a bunch of really nasty status effects in her kit, but it's just which one are you going to go for? Tenebral Rose comes out, though. This is the massive limit break. I think we all have a little bit of PTSD about this from... Oh, my goodness, about 1 year into the game. Just absolutely nukes the Liarte. That is a ton of damage, drops the Dark Resistance onto Stern. He actually tanked that decently well, though. And Sakura says, hey, Eternal Pain, this has Dark Killer in it. I expect this to do a very large chunk of damage. And oh my goodness, it does just that. Absolutely nukes both of the Dark units, and it looks like Dezaire is in very good position to pick up this game win. Valade does have full life in his kit, though, so it is not fully over until it's over. He's going to probably go for this on the Garvel. It should land both high faith units. He comes back to life. Sakura, can she one-shot him? Lightblade, yes, she can. 12k, my goodness, this Sakura just popping off here. Stern Wing of Destiny, can he one-shot the Valade, or is he going to try and stall this out a little bit by healing? Can't quite one-shot him, so Valade should be able to go and heal himself here. No, I lied. It is a raise and actually brings back Garvel. Will he get an opportunity to do anything, though, as Stern probably finds an AoE onto both units here regardless. He's got 80 AP. 100 edges will clean up the kill. My goodness, that's a lot of damage. That is a Game 1 victory for Dezaire and Team Big Mouth. Heading into Game 2 here, and Dezaire is on the cusp of pulling off just something absolutely nuts. He started off the season 0-4. He's 1 game away from pulling off 4 straight series wins. Just absolutely crazy against some very good players, too. Pinion of Steel coming out from Stern Wing of Destiny, and Deep Fortification coming out from the Asterisk. One thing I will say, though, is Spike is an absolute mad lad. If there's anybody who can pull off this reverse sweep here, it would be him. So here comes the Asterius, Miranda, and Murmur, which we've seen as a very successful team. Worked very well against JB79 last week. Will it be able to pull off a win here? Heart Like Needles, again, coming out from the Sakura, who was the main hard carry in the fight last time. And it looks like the same start from Dezaire. He says, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It worked Game 1. Prove to me that you have an answer for it. Murmur goes with the Black Rose Helena TMR, the 3-hit barrier, and the agility. Stern should be able to go for his Reawakening, giving himself re-raise, and as well as a number of other really nice things. And Sakura, does she go for the Thunder's Protection again? Not facing off against the Dark units this time? The King Bradley TMR going off on Astrius, so he's got haste. He should have pretty much everything he needs to try and succeed here, as a Heart Like Needles just gets refreshed. So maybe turning off the Thunder's Protection, knowing they weren't going against the Dark units, might have been a smart option from Dezaire here. Liarte still out of range. She has decent range, but she cannot connect with anyone. As Fast Cast goes from the Miranda onto the Murmur, will she return the favor and haste up the Miranda? We'll have to see here. I think that might be what it is. Just a couple of best friends hasting each other up. That's real cute and adorable. As 3 hasted up units on Spike's side here. And Jealous Rat, the Vega TMR. Now Stern is ready to bring some RNG into the fight, trying to land a Berserk. And that can be very, very massive. We've seen that before. The Padfoot coming out onto Sakura, though. So we have 5 out of 6 units hasted up on the battlefield at the moment. And Sakura with hate down is very scary, because Stern is tankier than her for sure. Stop arrow comes out. The stop does not land. So it looks like the resistance is on point here for Spike, or at least RNG in his favor, not sure which, as Fast Cast will get refreshed onto the Astrius. Cross Destruction comes out. 56-14 is not enough to kill. Will give himself some CT up, though, as he's going to catch a second Fast Cast right in a row. Good lord, this is a lot of haste. Rending Bright Blade comes out. 5,500 damage is a very nice start by Sakura, but Miranda's going to find a Dispelling Thrust, which will remove Liarte. However, that is probably the least important member on Dezaire's team at the moment. Murmur, I imagine, should be able to go for a heal here. I don't think she will Fast Cast again. The Stern Wing of Destiny going to go with Convergence plus Healing Power down, going to proc that Courage, I believe, onto Astrius. He is sitting with 1 health. What can he get done? He's going to go for the Limit Break. Release the Void. How much damage is this going to do? It's going to give him a nice follow-up attack, but this is on the Stern only, not on the Sakura. 3,900 is decent. 1,480, not too bad. How much healing is this coming out from the Murmur, though? I imagine this should be a Cura, and I don't think that will be a ton, especially because the healing power down came through from Stern, as the game is taking its sweet time to think about what's happening. No, I take it back. That was a Fast Cast on herself. It wasn't even a heal, so Astrius is in danger at the moment here. Sakura, I imagine, should be able to take him out here on this turn. Actually, turning for the backline. Eternal Pain going for the Murmur and the Miranda. Was she not able to find that angle? That is really interesting. I don't know, but Miranda's going to go next. Going to go for Dispelling Thrust onto the Stern. Finds the kill. He does have re-raise to come back online. He gets CT up. Will he jump Astrius in the turn order? Yes, he will. So he is going to go next. I imagine he should finally be able to kill this Astrius, who should have died, I think, last turn, but maybe Sakura just couldn't find the angle. But Prescient Advantage goes off and kills the Stern. Oh my god. And all of a sudden, Spike is going to win this. Cross Destruction is going to do 4,000. He's going to find the follow-up. Murmur goes next before Sakura. You've got to be kidding me. Holy cow. We've seen Prescient Advantage just go absolutely nuts before. That might have just made the difference. Stonera Enervator comes out. 2,300 damage is going to kill the Sakura. And in a 3-for-0, Spike somehow wins that battle. And we are headed to a game 3. Final game of this series, guys. It should be a good one. Spike running the same team back that he just brought. Dezaire going with the switch up, though. Running Zoma, Amnelis, and Liarte. Very, very interesting, as that deep fortification coming out from the Astrius, going to give himself some nice HP absorb. But I will say, Zoma, do not forget about Zoma. This unit is an absolute beast. We have seen him do some really, really nice work before, as Hour of Restoration comes out from the Amnelis, getting that self-heal up on her and the Liarte. Will it even matter, though? I think it fades after 3 turns. And will they be able to close the gap on these units on the opposite corner? Is my question. Immortal Spirit comes out from Miranda, getting that Courage online, set the pace. The Addison Ray TMR on Liarte. Probably a smart move, considering there was an absolute disgusting amount of haste coming out from Spike's side last time. Padfoot coming out from the Zoma, and these are some really nice adjustments, I think, coming out from Dezaire's team. So what is Amnelis going to go for next? She's going to go Hour of Restoration again, and she's going to refresh it on herself and also put it onto Zoma, who also already has basically a self-heal in his kit. I'm not sure how that works. I don't think he gets both of them, but I am not entirely sure, to be honest with you. Momentum comes out. King Bradley TMR onto the Astrius. Fast Cast on a Murmur. I expect that she will return the favor right onto Miranda. Maybe? Or she has it turned off? I'm not entirely sure. She actually just moved forward. So interesting to see here. I don't know if she couldn't find the angle. Maybe she's running Hate. If she runs Hate, she might not go for somebody else there. But the haste remove coming out from Zoma with that Addison Ray TMR, a really nice response by Dezaire. And can Liarte find some damage? I expect that she should be able to. Shadow Devour is going to come through. 767. Did she land any statuses? She lands the poison. That could deal a good amount of damage here as the Indomitability. Courage is online for Astrius. And Amnilus is going to go next. She's going to start channeling spell. I expect Ternary Seal. It is just that. 3926 is enough to take out the Murmur, and Dezaire is in a 3v2 advantage. Spike's big 2 units are still alive, though, as Dispelling Thrust does 7,200, but it looks like Amnilus is rocking that Wizard Staff that gives her CT up when she drops low. Psy Cannon comes out from the Zoma, 5,500, again dropping that haste, and that TMR putting in so much work. But Astrius goes next. Can he find it? Yes, he can. Cross Destruction is not enough to kill Amnilus. That heal back actually ended up being massive. She would have dropped to that, and she did not have re-raise. So that self-heal being pretty huge here as the Ternary Seal is going to come out. That's a good chunk of damage onto both Spike's units here. And Zoma's going to go next. Can he find a kill on anybody? Both of them have courage, so the answer is no, but Liarte might be able to. Does she have the range? She does. Shadow Devour is going onto the Miranda, though, not onto the Astrius. As Astrius is going to go next. He's got 82 AP. Cross Destruction comes through, gets the defense down onto both Zoma and Liarte. There's a poisoned Miranda, so poison will eat through courage, which is a big deal, as she doesn't go for the AoE. She goes for Dispelling Thrust on Liarte in the back. Oh no, that means Amnilus gets another opportunity. I don't think that's what Spike's Miranda wanted to do here. But Amnilus is going to go for, I imagine, a Ternary Seal. This should kill Astrius and do a chunk to Miranda. 3,900 is a lot. Is she low enough to die to poison? I don't know if it even matters, as Zoma is going to get an opportunity here to go. Frigid Breath, 2,600, puts her to sleep, so she does not get an opportunity to react. It wouldn't have mattered anyway because she was poisoned, and I don't think she could kill Zoma from that range. But man, heck of a fight, heck of a series. Congrats to Dezaire to keeping his miracle run alive. GG. Alright guys, only 1 week remaining in this Heindler division, and these standings are incredibly interesting, a little complicated, but I'm excited to talk to you guys about them, so here we go. We've got JB79, none other, the Paranoid Androids with 21 points, 710 record, has officially clinched at least, bare minimum, top 2. If he wins one more game, he doesn't even need to win this series next week. If he wins one game, he will clinch the first overall seed in this division, no matter what. Second place, we have Turambar of the Fire Ferrets with 19 points. He can finish anywhere between first, second, and third. It just depends on how the final week goes. As of right now, he is sitting in second place. CrimsonLyse of the Triumphant Trailblazers not only clinched a playoff spot, but also clinched a bye, so he doesn't have to do that play-in round where the 4th and 5th seed face each other. So congratulations to him, starting off the season 0-2, reeling off 6 straight wins. Incredibly impressive. CrimsonLyse cannot pass JB, but he can pass Turambar if he wins and Turambar loses. So most likely scenario, you know, these 3 teams maybe end up just the way they are sitting right now, but CrimsonLyse can be second or third, Turambar can be first through third, and JB can be first through second. Maverick of the Spaghetti Western has 13, Spike of Bebop's crew has 13, and Unhindered of Ignite the Storm have 13. Now, going into the week, this is crazy, but Maverick was actually in 5th place due to a tiebreaker head-to-head loss to Unhindered. Maverick lost this week and went up in the standings. That's crazy. He went from 5th to 4th because Spike got 1 single point, now making this a 3-way tie between Maverick, Spike, and Unhindered. And in a 3-way tie, we looked at head-to-head first. These 3 teams have beat each other in a cycle. Unhindered beat Maverick, Maverick beat Spike, Spike beat Unhindered. So, in a 3-way tie, that is how it goes, and Maverick has the best overall plus-minus record because more of his wins have been 2-0s than the other teams. They've had more 2-1 victories, so that's where that tiebreaker falls. So as of right now, if this season were over, Unhindered would be in 6th and would unfortunately miss the playoffs, but the season is not over. There's still 1 week remaining, thankfully for Dezaire, because Team Big Mouth, starting the season 0-4, has reeled off 4 straight wins and is in the thick of it for the playoff hunt. There's a very real scenario where he makes the playoffs in the final week, which is just absolutely nuts to me. Just very impressive by him. And LucianRamz of Lone Shadow, heading into the week with only 7 points, kept his playoff hopes alive. They are not high, let me tell you. A lot of things have to go right, but there is a chance that he could make the playoffs, and I will run you through a very quick hypothetical scenario. Looking at the side here, I'm going to take my face off the camera so that you can see who faces who in the final week. Now, looking at the teams that impact Dezaire's chances, CrimsonLyse versus Maverick. If CrimsonLyse were to win 2-0 versus Maverick, Maverick would still have 13. Spike versus LucianRamz. If LucianRamz wins 2-0 over Spike, obviously they will both have 13. Unhindered versus Dezaire. If Unhindered beats Dezaire, Unhindered will become this spot. He will become the 4th seed. And then we will have a 3-way tie of Spike, Maverick, and LucianRamz, all with 13 points. In this hypothetical scenario, LucianRamz would win this tiebreaker because he would be 2-0 against these two teams in head-to-head. In this situation, LucianRamz would be the 5th seed. So there is a way into the playoffs for LucianRamz. It's not high. A lot of things have to go well. There might be one more tiebreaker scenario that I'm not aware of that he could still make it, but there is at least a chance for him. Unfortunately, for Colgate of Fwendship and Error 404 of Ashes to Crashes, I don't think it is possible for them to make the playoffs based on, the total points. Obviously, they can't get up to 13 and win some tiebreaker, so they will be in the toilet bowl or done for the season, depending if the way they want to play it or not. But regardless, should be an exciting final week, guys. This division is absolutely crazy. We know who the top 3 is. We know who the bottom 2 is, but anything after that is anybody's guess. It's nuts, and I wouldn't have it any other way. 2 open playoff spots in the final week is really cool to see. I'm excited to cast them next week. I'm excited to see them, and good luck to all the players competing. So thank you guys so much for watching this. Have a wonderful day.